Anyway, we have not started anything new. So in the recording, we have not missed. So, okay, let us come back. Recording has started. Let us come back to this, what do you call, where were we? This part. Now, before we move on to invalidate session or expiring the sessions, or before we see some of the other security features that we can incorporate with the sessions, we will try to make use of attributes. That is, we are not talking here attributes of the tags. For example, this HTML tag will have a action as the form tag will have action as the attribute and method as the attribute. We are not talking about those attributes. Here, attributes means we are talking about the attributes through which are the entities which we can save within a session. So, for example, and then why basically why we need the attributes. Now, if you see, we have logged in with something known as on the browser, if you see, a username ABC, uname. And this password is also visible that because we are using get as the method. If we use post as the method, we will not have this problem. But anyway, we are using username, uname as ABC. But the real name of the person can be different. And you may find that several places when you log in, you have to obviously provide your email address. And then once you are authenticated, on the every page, you will find your last name or your first name displayed. The thing is, you have not provided that. It was fetched from the database once you were authenticated and then stored in the attributes. And those attributes can be accessed at several places within the what do you call your entire web application. So what we will try to do it is we will first try to see the attributes. So in our servlet form class, my form servlet class, sorry, in my form servlet file, we will make use of attributes. Now, how are the attributes handled in sessions is that we need to make use of a method known as get attribute or set attribute. Through get attribute or set attribute, we will be able to handle attributes within sessions. So what we will do is we will just try to look at how to assign attributes. Now, here, once the session is created, I am in which file? My form servlet file. Then here, after the session is created, and after we have retrieved the ID of the session and all, let us keep all these things together. I will try to use the session object that we have already created. It's over here, SCSS session. We have created as the HTTP session. So we will use SCSS dot very first thing we have to set the attribute. So we will use set attribute first. Now set attribute is also like a key value pair. First we need to give the name for the attribute, then the value of the attribute. So first argument is the name of the attribute, then the value of the attribute. So what name we will give is, we will give let's say attribute name, we will give it as email. And then value, I mean, since we are here, in this case, we are not retrieving anything from the database. And we say that the user is ABC. So let us assign the attribute as ABC at gmail.com as the, what do you call, attribute for this user. That is, we are saying, or we are assigning in the session the email of this user. Now, this, once we have set over here, the entire session, till it is valid, will be able to have the attribute email with this value. So at this place, we are setting, like my form servlet, we are setting the attribute. So we will just compile this file. and it's the what do you call original. It's this file is already defined. What you call the servlet, and servlet mapping is already defined in web.xml file. So we don't have to do anything. We will just try to run this program and see. Let me open this manager and then reload the entire web application, because we have already made some changes. So okay, fine. Now here what happened, let us go back again. I'm typing any wrong password, so it says failed. We are not bothered about any session now, neither setting the of the attribute. But once we have this, what do you call what is here, once we have the correct username and password, then obviously session is also created. And with this session, I mean, the attribute also has been set. This we are seeing this because here we have used session set attribute email and setting the email part. But how do we know that this attribute has been set? So what we will try to do is, we will try to, because once here when we click in this file, I mean this link, we move on. Session is the same, but we want move on to the another servlet page. So what we will try to do it is, after this line, we will try to access the attribute here and then display its email address. So let us now, this is obviously my servlet file. So we will open my servlet now. And since the session is same, we will be able to access that attribute. So let's say out.println, and let us just say hello, and then use the concatenation operator. I will use SESS. This is the session object which we have created in this, I mean at this statement, SESS dot. There we had used get set attribute. Here we will use get attribute. Here we will use get attribute. Now and then close this statement. Now which attribute to get? We have to pass the name of this attribute. Now in earlier file, if you see, the name of the attribute was email. So we will come back to this program and then we will try to pass, sorry, what was the value here? Email. Let me just copy it and paste it over here. So we are trying to retrieve the value using get attribute method, the value of the attribute email. Is it fine? Let us save all these programs. Let us save here, save this program also, and we will try to compile all the Java files. What is it? It's giving me some error. Which file is it? It's my form servlet.java, semicolon is missing. So this file, okay, semicolon, we have missed. Let me save it again. Actually, I think I have not saved this file earlier also. So we do not have any problem. So, I mean, there was no error cropping up. So let us now compile all the HTML Java servlet files. Now we have compiled all the servlets. We have not created any new servlet, so we don't have to bother about changing anything in web XML file. Let us go to the manager, and since we have compiled these things, let me just try to reload this entire application. Then let us come back. Now we will come from the what do you call form itself, ABC, and passing the correct attribute. We are here, and in this page we are actually authenticating the user as well as setting the attribute as email. Now once we click this, we will be moving on to the next, what do you call, servlet. So let us click this. You can find that session ID is the same thing, and in my servlet we have actually retrieved the attribute. So you can find that this is the text we had already provided here, I suppose. In this one here, hello, and then using the session we are trying to get the attribute, that is email, that is the value we saved in the previous one. So this is how we can access attributes throughout the session. We can assign attributes as well as we can access attributes. Now, it is not that you can be able to assign only a single attribute. You can assign multiple attributes. For example, what we will do is, in this one, we have just used set attribute, only one attribute, that is email. Let us try to assign another attribute. But remember that every attribute should have a unique, name. So let us call this attribute as user itself, and let us try to pass the str user, that is his the username he is using to log in. So remember, this should not be in quotes because this is the variable itself, or this is the a variable which is storing the uname value coming from the user. So here in this case, we have two attributes. One is email, which stores the email of the user, and the second one attribute is the user itself, which stores the name of the user. Assume that username. Now let us save this file, and then we will come. We are having another servlet, that's my servlet, and here also we will say just try to add access another instead of hello, let us say user name. Let's just say name. And remember, this is not the attribute, this is just the string which we are trying to display. Now, but here we are using plus append operator session, that is SCSS object get attribute. In this place, we will now call the attribute that is user, the name of the attribute user. We will pass this name of the attribute user. Let us now save the file, and then let us compile this program. Again, I missed out semicolon where here itself. Okay, semicolon. Let us save this file, compile it once more. All the Java files are compiled. Let me come here. Let me reload the entire servlet, and then let us come back. Now, here my servlet, without coming from the form, I'll just try to refresh this page. Once I refresh it, are you getting it? The name null. We have actually assigned the value str user here, but it is showing null. This is because I have just refreshed this page. Where is the attribute set? Attribute is set in my form servlet. So attribute is set here, and in this we are retrieving the attribute. So right now I have just refreshed this servlet where this session there was no attribute assigned. So let us go back from the form page itself. We will come, we will provide the username, then login. Here both the attributes have been set actually, and then we will click here. So now you can find that we have the username, we have email address as one of the attribute whose value is abc@gmail.com, and then there is another attribute known as a user, which we are retrieving here, user, and this user is nothing but ABC value which we are providing. So this is how we can play around with the attributes. So attributes can be, remember one thing, attributes can be set anywhere in any servlet of your web application, and these attributes can be again accessed in any other servlet. You should remember that the session should be same. The ID for the session should be same. So actually the attributes work in collaboration with the session. Once the session expires, even the values inside the attributes also expires. So this was all about how to use attributes. Now suppose if we have another servlet, in that servlet also we will be able to fetch the attributes which have been set in other or previous servlets. So this is how the session information is maintained around your entire web application. Now, let us come to the security feature. Let us come to the authentication part or the security policy itself. Now, in the morning's class, somebody has asked a very brilliant, very good question, that this URL, what we are using here, which we are saying that this is confidential page, and we are coming to this URL after logging in and checking whether it's a correct username and password. Then after authenticating, once we click this, we come to this page. Now, the question is that without logging in, or without using this, what do you call this form, without using this form, without logging in, suppose if somebody comes to know this URL, that is URL of your confidential page, or what do you call, without authentication, can anybody be able to access this page? Now let me do one thing. Let me just copy this URL and let me open another Chrome window. This is the second Chrome window, a different Chrome window, and let me paste this URL, and you can find that the session ID is same here as well as in the new what do you call URL. I mean in the new window with the same URL. Are you getting it? Even the get attribute method is also there, through which we are now able to access the attributes of the user. So in a what do you call, a common way, what we can say is if somebody knows the URL, and then he can just use that URL to access the session or access the confidential page itself. Now, without even bothering about session also, he will be able to access the confidential page. So for example, let me open this in another what do you call browser and see what happens. Now here, this text, what we are saying, this is confidential page. Assume that this is the confidential information itself. You want a person who is authorized, only that person who has a correct credentials of username and password, which should be able to log in. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this and let me open the Edge browser, and inside the Edge browser I'll paste this URL and then open this. Now are you able to look at the what do you call text there? Yeah, it says this is confidential page. That means even with the sessions, even with having what you call username and password, and within the if condition of my what do you call form servlet, my form servlet, when only when username and password is correct, we are trying to handle the sessions here. Even then, somebody would be able to access the information without logging in if he knows the URL. So in this case, what should we do? That is the question. Now, is the session only used to what do you call just handle give you the session ID and just try to handle attributes of whatever user assigns? No, that is not the only thing that session does. The HTTP session does a lot of things. One is through sessions, we will be able to know whether the users are unique or not. That is, if users are unique, I mean, if users are same users, user is trying to access through multiple browsers, we will be having, or at the server, we will come to know that the session ID is same. With that, we will come to know that they are from this request are coming from the same user. If the IDs, session IDs are different, that means it is coming from different users. Now, the second job of the HTTP sessions is that using sessions, we will be able to add some entities, that is attributes, through the sessions, which can be, or whose values can be accessed throughout the web application. Now, the third one is we will be able to use the sessions to validate the user, or to have what you call to invalidate actually the user. So what we will try to do it is, let me close this Edge browser as well as there is another browser here. Let us close this, and then in this confidential page, we will have a link after this. Let us have a link after this, and in this link, we will say, or we will have a link to a log out servlet. Is it fine? Now, the purpose is that when somebody logs in with the correct credentials, a session will be created. That session will be maintained throughout the application, and several pages, confidential pages, or several other stuff, the data can be accessed. And after it's done, a user has to log out. So that is the reason we will have a log out link here. So let us go to which page are we in? My servlet. This is the my servlet. So let me go to my servlet class. And in this class, what I'll try to do it is just from my previous this one where we have already created a link. Let me just copy and paste this link over here. Copy and paste this link. Now here my student is obviously our web application. Instead of my servlet, I will say my log out servlet. And I'll say click here to, let's say, log out. And then let us just try to save this file. And let us compile this. And then we will reload the our application, and just let me refresh this. You can find that click here to log out has been is there. Now once I click this, obviously we have not written a servlet, so it's saying not for error. That is, the resource is not found. So we will write now. We will now try to write the implementation for my logout servlet. So what I'll just try to do is let me come here and what are these messages coming? Okay. Where were we? Yes, my logout servlet. So let me just copy this one, and let us go to first. We will go to the web XML, web.xml. Since it's a new servlet, so I need to create a block of servlet and servlet mapping. So let me quickly do that. Let me just have the same thing as well as URL pattern. We will have it / my logout servlet. Let me save this file. Let me come back to classes. And in this classes, what I'll do is just copy my servlet class. And then let me rename this class with my logout servlet. So I'll just try to rename this class. And in this class, we will try to handle the logout part. Now let us keep all the this 3 HTML part as it is. We will say this is we will just say let's say logged out, and then we will remove this session. We will not print any of the sessions because we are trying to remove the session itself. Even these things even the link we will try to remove it. Now here, after you give the message as logout, or not after, let us say that we will try to invalidate the session. That is, here HTTP session, we have already created the sessions class. So here we will try to use SCSS object dot, and we have a method known as invalidate. We have a method known as invalidate. So just let me check the spelling of that method. Yeah, everything is small. So SCSS dot invalidate. Let me open and close. It will not take any arguments. Invalidate. Now, after we are invalidating the session, what we will do is we will throw the output back as an HTML, and we will display that we have logged out. But this statement is very important. Invalidate. That means we are explicitly killing the session or terminating the session. So let us save this file. What am I doing? Let us save this file, Java. Let me compile all the Java files, and we have already changed the web.xml. So we will come here. We will come from the first. It's from the form itself. Let me reload the servlet, and then over here, let us provide the ABC as the correct. We have here now. If you can see, the session is 459. This is the session. Sorry, A59. We will access the confidential page. The same session ID, and now that is A59. And here we have the logout part. Now let us try to access this URL before clicking the clicking the logout page, or before clicking the logout link. So you can see without directly using the link, we are able to access this. I'll just click logout. It says I have been logged out. Now let us come back. Let me refresh this page. Now if I refreshed it, what am I getting? I am getting a 90 whatever something. Are you getting? It has refreshed, but it has created new session ID, but I'm still able to access the confidential information. So what additional thing we need to do here is, in this one, no, not in my logout servlet page, not in my logout servlet page. What we need to do in the my servlet file is that we have to check if the session or any attribute which is newly created attribute or not. Now, as I told you, that once we invalidate a session, what happens is all the attributes which we have set. For example, here I suppose we have set the attributes email and username. These attributes also will be invalidated. That is, it will be null. These value also will be changed to null. So these value will not be having the state values as ABC and all once we execute session.invalidate. So we will go back to our servlet program. Where is our servlet program? This is our servlet program. My servlet. This is our servlet program. This is what is our confidential page. So here what I will do is, I will try to, before displaying this output, I will try to access the attribute. Here we are using get attribute email. Okay. So here what I will do is, I will create a string str underscore, let's say ATT for attribute, and let us just say value. And then we will use this, we will try to use this email as the value for this one. So I'll just open this. I will just copy and paste it here. So here I am trying to access the email as the attribute. And then actually get attribute will not return a string. It will return us an object. So we need to explicitly convert this into a string. So we will use toString as the method here, and we'll explicitly convert. Now you might be wondering, when this returns an object, how come without using toString at this place, we were able to concatenate it with other string? Because object cannot be concatenated with a string. Only strings can be concatenated with strings, or numbers can be concatenated with strings. But you might be wondering why without having toString as the method, we are able to concatenate. This is because the println method will automatically coerce the object into a string. So that is why here we did not have any problem. But in this case, since we are assigning, assignment will not automatically coerce the value. So since we are assigning, we will have an error saying that object, that is because this returns an object cannot be assigned to a string. So in that case, we have to explicitly use dot to string method. Now what we will do is, if this, what you call value, that is str attribute value, if this value dot length we are using, because it's string, we can use length function. If length, if it is greater than 0, if it is greater than 0, that means there is what? That means there is a attribute present, and not only attribute present, but its value is also assigned. So where are we assigning the value? We are assigning the value in what you call this my form servlet. If it is if the authentication is done, we are assigning the value of the email over here. That is ABC. Now, if authentication was not there, that if a new session is created and all, this will not happen. So now let us come back to my servlet, and I'm just saying if the length is 0, that means if I have the email as where is it? If I have the email as any email with the length is greater than 0, that means the session is created as well as attribute is assigned. If that is the case, then do everything. Display the confidential information. That is, if session is there as well as its attribute is there, display everything. Now, once in logout, and this can run any number of times, doesn't matter, until and unless you are logged in. Once a user clicks the logout will invalidate the session. So once it is invalidated, even attributes will lose its values. So that is why here we are checking if an attribute has some value, that means its length is greater than 0, then display all the confidential information. Otherwise, there is no need to display any session or any of the confidential information. So now what we will do is we will just try to compile this. Very first thing is we will try to save these files. This is saved, this file is also saved, as well as the third, this file is also saved. Let us compile these files, and let me reload the my application. And now we will come back from the login page. Let us log in with the true credentials, that is username and password. So a session is created, even the attributes are set, because this is my form servlet. Now, next thing is we will click this. You can find that this is confidential information page has been displayed. Now, this is because what we did is we had in my servlet, what we did is in my servlet, in this file, my servlet file, what we did is before displaying this in confidential information, we are trying to have a condition if the value of the attribute is 0 or not. If that is why it is 0, because we have set the attribute and it's displaying the the whole page. Now I will try to click logout and will log out from here. Now once I have logged out, in my another window, I had the link copied and pasted. This link was working earlier without even logging in. Now let us try to see whether this link works or not. So nothing is getting displayed. That means we have we have we have the where was that? Okay, my servlet. If this is true, only these statements will execute. We have not written anything for else part. Why? Because just for the sake of simplicity, we have not written anything else, but you can write it, the else part also you can write it, so that you can display some message that session has ended or so and so things. Now, this shows nothing, as well as come back here. This is the old data which is displayed. Now, suppose if I refresh it, here also nothing will be what you call visible. So this is how we can protect. Not only that, for example, this is the URL we had it. Let me open another browser, the Edge web browser, and let me paste this thing. You can find it that nothing has been displayed because session you have already logged out. So this is how we can use sessions and add the attributes, and using the attributes like the get method, and trying to, first set the value with the set attribute method, and then with another method known as get what you call get attribute, we will be able to retrieve the value and check whether the length is what you call greater than 0 or not. If it is greater than 0, that means session is valid, logout has not been initiated, or session has not ended, or session has not invalidated. And then the rest of the things will get displayed. Now, when you click logout button, the session we are invalidating using this what you call session.invalidate method. That means we have explicitly killed the session. Now, if anyone tries to now copy this URL and paste it in any other what you call browser without logging in, he will find that the data will not be displayed on the web page. So this is how we handle sessions, or this is how we handle the what you call the flow of controls with the session. Now let us, before moving on to the cookies, let us go to some of the doubts part if anybody has. Now I just now got a pop-up that says, sir, if we don't log out and copy the address in a new window without writing the attributes, will it work? Yes, will it work if you are logged in? For example, let me show you that now we have logged out. Let us come to the what do you call this page. Let us come from the beginning. Where is it? Let us come from the beginning. My student, and then where was that form was? Okay, this is the form page. Now let me show you. I'm logging in. Now I'm logged in. I can copy this. I can open a new browser. I can paste it. It will work. It will not show what you call error or blank page. It works because session is maintained, as well as you yourself as a user is logged in. So it works without logging out. But if I log out and then use this what do you call address, for example, I'm trying to log out now. If I log out and then I refresh this page or I use this page, then I will not be displayed with anything because session has ended now. So, did it clear your doubt? For the question? Am I clear with this? Okay. Do we have, then how is the security? That is what, if you log out, you're not able to log in. You're not able to, it's not that if you log out, you're not able to log in. Sorry for that. Security is achieved. Once you log out, you will not be able to have or access the pages. Let us take an example of your Gmail. In Gmail, once we log in, we will be having your what you call inbox. Now in the inbox, Okay, what is there is a question. So if we take an example, Amazon, if logout is not done and if we use the URL address from other browser, are we going to access the page? No, no, no. Amazon might be providing other securities also, but let me give you a simple example. Now we have Gmail. Now in the Gmail, uh, let me open my Gmail itself. I'll show you. Uh, where's the? Oh, okay. Let me access the Gmail account. I have logged in. Now I'm trying to access my Gmail account. Now suppose if I have to open this, what do you call link? I mean, open this email. Just let me copy this uh, email address and in a new browser, I'll just paste it. I'm able to read it. Are you getting it? I'm able to access that. I'm using a different window, web browser. Now, but suppose if I log out from here, let me just log out, sign out of all accounts. Hello. Yes, yes. Now, sorry about that. Once, are you people there? Where is the chat? No, I don't have a chat. All my chat has gone. Anyway, all my chat has gone. The questions you people asked has gone. Now, what happened is I clicked logged out from all the accounts, and I was logged out from even MJ College account. So once I'm logged out, just a minute. Let me share the what do you call share my entire screen. Okay, now can you see this temporary error? So see, I am in an email. I have logged in. My session is created. I'm accessing the attributes, and then I can use that. I can open my emails in a new window, new browser. It works perfectly fine. And then when I log out from my Gmail account and refresh that URL or try to use that URL in another window, I will be getting this error. So this is because I've been logged out from the session itself. So does this clear my clear your questions? Any other question? Sorry about that. I was blank for some time because when I logged out, even from the meet, I was what do you call disconnected. So for that reason, I had to connect again and come back. So always remember that. when we are using sessions, we can what do you call the basic purpose of that session is to store the what is it? Basic purpose is to store uh, the data from the previous requests. That is what is the basic purpose of sessions. So in previous request means once we had that form, HTML form, there is no security over there. And then from that HTML form, we move on to what do you call, we move on to the, what was that, my form servlet. In my form servlet, we were handling things. Now, when we were handling things, we had created the session there. Now, from that point onwards, for example, you had what do you call my servlet as one of the page, and then even my logout servlet page. These three pages were having or knowing what was happening from the previous request. That is, since the session is getting maintained, we know that the previous request was for a login which is successful, and then once it is successful login, we are trying to have the attribute set up so that throughout the web application we will be able to maintain who that session is for, which user has logged in for. Is this clear? So this was about what do we call about sessions and how to handle sessions. Now let us if you don't have any questions, we will move further with the cookies part within Java servlets. Can I proceed further with the cookies part? Okay, fine. Now we will go back to the what you call form page. Okay, not form, sorry. We will go to our what you call my student app itself. Now here I will not create any I mean we will not do it within the what do you call within the existing code. We will try to write a new code for the cookie. Okay, so I'll just copy this my servlet part and let me give the name as my cookies, mycookies.java, and this servlet what is the name? My cookies. So just let me copy this file name, and here I will have my cookies. And in this my cookies part, what I'll try to do it is I will try to retrieve no, I will try to create a cookie. So we will forget about this handling of the sessions and all. We will just concentrate now on the cookies part. So I'll just remove this entire thing. I'll just delete this entire thing. I'll just have what we call out.println, and let me say that in h1 tag, let me say that this is cookie example, and let me close the h1 tag, semicolon. Now I don't even need what you call the session here. Anyway, if it is there, doesn't matter, but let me remove this part. Now in yesterday's class we talked theoretically that cookies can be created using the cookie class itself, and cookie is a very, it's a small piece of information that is stored on the client's web browser. Remember, not on the server, it is stored on client's web browser. So let us use a cookie class. We will try to create an object of cookie using cookies class. Cookie, let me call it as my cook, and using the assignment operator, we will create an object new cookie. Now cookies also, like your attributes, work like a key value pair. So we will, let us try to assign a key as the first argument and value in the second argument. What we will do is, let us give the name of the cookie as username. Or let us say not username, let us say MJCET as the cookie. But please, you people already know that. I don't have to tell you again that not to use MJCET in any of the exams. But I'm trying to use it here so that it will be easy for you to understand. And then the cookie value we will set as CSE. Okay. Now remember that cookie has to be stored on client's web browser, or it gets stored on client's web browser. So how do we send this cookie to the client's web browser? Now, if you compare with sessions, in session was created on a request or response. Like the HTTP sessions class, SESS object, what we were using here, is the session created on request or response? It is created on request. So remember, sessions are on request always. And cookies, since it has to be sent to the web browser, it works on response. So we will have to use res dot add cookie. Now add ADD small, cookie C is capital. Add cookie. It's cookie, not cookies. Add cookie, and then I will pass my cookie, which is nothing but object my cook. This is the object I am passing. So this is how I have created a cookie, and then the cookie object, using the response, I have added this cookie to my response object, which will now be sent to the client's web browser along with these HTML tags. So let us save this file, and obviously my cookie is a servlet created. My cookies is a servlet created. So we will go back and try to add few statements in web.xml. So let me add it at the end. So I will just copy the servlet and servlet mapping part, and then let me change the servlet name to my cookie, as well as servlet class to my cookies, and even this should be the same, as well as the URL should be my cookies. Let us close this, and then in the class we need to now compile all the class files. I've just compiled it, and the class for the my cookies is created. Let us go to our where is it? I'm not getting it now. Okay, this page. Let us go to this part. Here I will just reload my application, since I have already we made some changes in the XML file. Let us come back. We will not use that form, but instead of that, we will directly access through a URL my cookie servlet. What was the name of that? My cookies, sorry, my cookies. So I can use the localhost 9090 my student app, and then instead of form.html, I'll use my cookies. Let us just access the servlet. You can find that this is the cookie example has been displayed. This is because this cookie class the entire HTML is displayed here. But where is the cookie? We have sent the cookie through a response. Obviously, even this out is part of your response object, res. Res, out is also a part of the response, but using the response directly, we have sent the cookie. Now, this cookie has arrived here in my, what do you call, my web browser. And it is saved. This cookie is saved in my web browser. But here you cannot see what is saved and where it is saved. So what we will do is we will go back to our classes folder and we will write another file to retrieve the cookies which are stored in our web browsers. So let me copy this file and let us try to write my cookies, let us say retrieve. My cookies retrieve. And I'll just go to the inside this class. Let me just change this class name to my cookies retrieve. Now what we will do is we will, in this file, we will retrieve the entire what do you call, we will try to retrieve all the cookies. Where is this retrieved? My retrieved cookies. Okay, sorry. I'm doing something. Just a minute. So many files have been opened. Let me just close this because I'm having some confusion here. Let me close this. These, what do you call, all these files. Okay, here this is there. This is my meeting. This is my presentation. And this my farm servlet also. I'll close this. What is this? What is this? My servlet. This also I'll just try to close this. This is my logout servlet. I'll close this also. Then this is, I just try to close this one as well as my cookie. This one, let me close it. Now there is, okay. What are these, all these files? Just a minute, I'm just trying to figure it out where that file has went. Okay. Okay, let us come. Okay, now and we will write another servlet, my cookies retrieve, and this servlet, what we will try to do it is this is my cookies retrieve. In this servlet, what we will try to do it is, instead of creating all this cookies, we will now try to access the cookies. So what I'll do is I will create, let us call cookie cook as an object, and in this one I'll just try to use the request, REQ request, and see, we had used add cookie, we have used on response, but since we are trying to retrieve cookies which are saved in the web browser, we will be using request, REQ request dot. This has got a method known as get cookie. sorry, get cookies. This has a method get cookies. It will not take any argument. Now what happens is, let me just remove this method. Now this one, the get cookies, will not retrieve a single cookie. It will retrieve all the cookies that are present in the web browser. So we will just use an array so that we will be able to store all the values of all the cookies which are there in the web browser. Now the next thing what we will have to we need to do is we need to access the cookies now from the array of cookies. Very first thing we need to do is we need to check if the cook object is null or not. Now what happens is sometimes there may not be any what you call cookies itself, so saved within the browser. So it will return null, and then we need to handle this. We will use out.println, and let's say that no cookies. No cookies. Now else what we will try to do is we will try to display all the information from the cookies. That is the name of the cookie as well as the value what that cookie is storing. So in this case, what I'll do it, since we are using array, so I will use for loop for int I less than cook dot, it's the length of the what do you call array, that is cook dot length and I plus plus. So from array of cookies, we will now be retrieving each cookie at a time. So now I will have out dot println, and this println I'll print first the cookie, name of the cookie. So what we will do is cook of I is the cookie object. The first I will be 0 for the first time. Sorry, I have forgot to assign 0 here. Int I equal to 0, I less than cook dot length and I plus plus. Out dot println cook of I. First we will retrieve the name of the cookie. So we will use the method get name. Okay, get name. Then we will concatenate. I'll just use the what do you call colon here to separate the cookie name with the cookie value. Again we will concatenate, and now we will try to retrieve the cookie what do you call value using cook of I dot get value. Remember, get name, N is capital for name, get value, V is capital for the value. Now at the end what we will do is we will try to assign a break statement, because if there are multiple cookies then obviously it has to be printed on separate line. Close this string, close the what do you call out.println method and semicolon. Now this out.println for HTML body tag and HTML tag and H1, I'll just copy this and paste it at the very top. Okay. Now let me save this file. Now remember that what we are doing here, we are trying to create an array of cookies in which we retrieve all the cookies which are saved in the web browser, and these cookies which are saved in the web browsers is done through request object. Cookies are added through response object, but cookies are retrieved or accessed through request object. And then very first thing we need to check is whether there are some cookies or not. If you don't check, what happens is if there are no cookies, then you will get an exception. So to handle that exception, we are trying to check whether array of cookies is null. That means if there are no cookies stored in the web browser, then it will be null. So we just display add no cookies. But if there are certain cookies which are available, so what we will do is we will use a for loop retrieving each cookie at a time, and then using cook of I get name, we will retrieve the name of the cookie, and cook of I get value, we will retrieve the value of that cookie. Let us go to the web.xml, and in the note, let me open in the notepad, and here I'll just copy and paste the servlet and servlet mapping block. And in this one, let me add the my cookies retrieve class. So servlet will be my cookies retrieve, class will be my cookies retrieve, mapping also will have the same thing, URL will be cookies retrieve. Let me save this file, and this file also let me save my cookies retrieve file, and let me just compile all the Java files, the Java servlets, and then what we will try to do it is we will try to reload this application. We are reloading this application, and let us come here. This is my cookies, in which we are setting the cookie. So I'll just run it once more. I'll just run this once more. So we have set the cookie. Nothing is displayed here. We have just set the cookie from the servlet that is stored on my or the client's web browser. Now let me copy this same URL on a different. We will try to access the file, the servlet my cookies retrieve. My cookies retrieve. We will try to access this URL. Now, are you able to see that MJCET cookie which we had created, and the value was CSE. So in this file, we had created in my cookie file, we have created a cookie. For example, what was this MJCET with the value as CSE. So that is what we have retrieved here. MJCET as cookie, CSE is its value. Now, you are able to see something known as JSession ID. This is the cookie which is already present in my web browser, already there. I mean, Java session has created and stored it. You can also find one more cookie over here, which is PyCharm cookie, which is stored. So using this program of what do you call my cookie retrieve, we are not just retrieving a single cookie, but we will be able to retrieve all the cookies. Now let us do one more thing. Now instead of CSE, I'll just I will pass what do you call let's say ECE, and let me just save this file. Let me compile this servlet. Okay. And then let me reload the web browser also. Sorry, not web browser. Reload the web application also. Now here, this is my cookie. I will not refresh it right now. But my cookies retrieve, I will refresh it. There is no change, CSE. Why? Because we have written this, change the value to EC over here, but we have not accessed this cookie. So we will come here. We have not sent that cookie. I'll just try to refresh this. Now, once I have refreshed this, my cookie, which contains now MJCET as the cookie and ECE as the value, let us go to our my cookie retrieve example, and let me refresh this one. So are you able to see now a new cookie value has been set? Is this fine? Any questions or any doubt? So this is how cookies are handled. The only difference is session is saved in the web server, maintained in the web server, whereas cookies are saved in the client's web browser. The other difference is that the sessions, we have attributes, setting and getting the attributes. In cookies, we also have how to set the cookie as well as get the name of the cookie as well as value for the cookie. Now, if you look very carefully at this program of retrieving the cookies, that is my cookie retrieve, where we had tried to retrieve, created an object, an array of cookies itself. So whatever cookies are there will be retrieved. So in this case, here itself you can see that we created only one cookie, but web server was also storing some other cookies for example, JSession, as well as some PyCharm cookie. So using this program, you will be able to access all the cookies which are present, which have not been expired in your web browser, which are present in the web browser. That is the reason. Just a minute. I'll come back to the question. That is a reason you might be finding on various websites. Once you just visit a site, they will give the pop-up that this site stores cookies, uses cookies, accept that pop-up. You may have, experiences that on various sites. That is because it is telling you as a user that the website will be storing some cookies on your web browser that may contain some other information, or through this program, through this program, what we have, this program, as we ourselves are able to extract the cookies. So the sensitive information also sometimes can be extracted using this program. So that is why you are nowadays getting the pop-ups that websites are using cookies. This website uses cookies, and your information, something share, and so things will be written. You have to either accept it or have to close that part. So that is the reason they are giving. Since cookies are stored on client's web browser, I as a programmer or you as a developer on a server side would be able to write a program to fetch or retrieve information which is stored in your web browser. So let us come to the questions now. I have a question here. Sir, we are just using one key value pair in the cookie. How to store multiple key value pairs? Just create another cookie. For example, let us come here. Over here, I'll just create another cookie. And this cookie, I will give the name as mycook1. Instead of MJCT, I will, what do you say? Let us give it as OU. And here I will store the value as CSE. Now, I will add this cookie, that is mycook, as well as mycook1 on the same response object. Let me just save this file. I will compile the file again, and then let me come here, let me reload the student app, my student app as the, what is that, my application. And let me just refresh this, and that is my cookies servlet. And then let us come back here. Let us try to access my cookies retrieve. Now you can see MJCT-EC as well as OU and CSE. There are two different cookies that we have created and saved on the client's browser. Does this answer your question? Yes. A cookie can be deleted explicitly, or there are two ways. In the last theoretical class, I have already discussed that the cookie, it's a small piece of information. And then what happens is cookie, we can, there is a method known as, we can explicitly actually expire the cookie. There is a attribute or method which we can use known as max age. Through the max age, we can explicitly expire the cookie. I mean, it's nothing but deleting the cookie. The other thing is this, we do it explicitly, but even implicitly also, we can, implicitly also, since cookies uses web browsers, memory. So what happens is, if there are several cookies stored on the web browser, and since cookie, the web browser has limited space allocated, and most web browsers only allocate some around 4 KB of the what you call space for the cookie. So as the cookies, it uses a queue as an example. Whoever comes first, that cookie is deleted first. So uh, that way there are two ways in which cookies can be deleted, or we say it that implicitly a cookie can be expired by setting its maximum age time limit. Till that time a cookie can be what you call alive. And then the other method is implicitly, which is done by the browser itself. So it will be recycling cookies. Once the memory gets full, the first cookie which came in will be removed. So this is how the cookies can be deleted. Is there any other question? Have I answered your what do you call doubts? I mean, was this the deleting cookie method correct? I mean, clear? Anything else for this Java servlets or for sessions or for cookies? Which code do you want to see? Retrieve cookie or the what do you call uh, assigning the cookie? Which part? Uh, uh, what is this for deleting cookie? Is max age? Acha, acha, you're talking about the method for deleting. Just a minute. Oh. Here, what we will do is we will do res dot let's say set what do you call max age, and here let us provide in milliseconds some 500. Set max age. Let me. This is my cookie. I'm not writing anything in what do you call my cookie retrieve. Just trying to have it in this way. Res dot set max age. No, sorry, not res. Not res. Sorry. It should be my cook dot set max age before we try to assign. Just let me save this file and then let me compile this. So this way you will be able to set the what do you call on a cookie. Not sorry, earlier I had typed in res dot set max age. Actually, it is my cook, that is the cookie itself, set max age. So with that, what happens is inside this we can provide the maximum the length of the time a cookie can remain active. So this is how age of the cookie can be identified. I mean set. Any other question? Now here generally what info is stored in the cookie. Actually, if you see, I mean, let us take an example of what do you call this one, Amazon itself. Let us take now on Amazon. Uh, we try to browse several what do you call products. When we browse several products on Amazon, what happens is Amazon will be saving in the cookies which all products I have browsed. For example, if I'm trying to search for laptops, Amazon can store in in the cookies a product with what do you call laptop as the value for the product, and then using this cookie. So next time if I again visit the Amazon site, so Amazon can now retrieve my cookies, which has been created, already created by Amazon, because I had previously visited the laptops page, suppose, and seen the laptop products. So now Amazon retrieves those cookies which have been saved previously, and with that they can recommend me. So you can see at the bottom, if I not bottom, when you when you visit the Amazon page again, you may find that it says you have previously searched for so and so things, and it will try to show the related products also. So those are the reasons, or that is how the cookies are what do you call saved. That is, those are the values cookies will be saving. Yeah, you can clear the cookies. Even if you are here, what happens is, that is why the explorers give you the option. Once you go to the options part here in the where is it, history. Uh, let me just open up the entire history here. When you try to say clear browsing history, it will ask you here, are you able to see? Are you people see browsing history, cookies and other site data? Are you getting it? You can clear all the data. You can clear the cookies. So once you clear the cookies, what happens is the information about the site will not be available next time the user, what do you call, next time you visit that web page. So yes, you can clear the cookies. Once you clear the cookies, uh, it will not your previous information, what all you have visited, will not be saved in your web browser. There is another question, sir, how do we see the cookies installed in my browser? You run, see, there is a little bit confusion here. The question is, sir, how do we see the cookies installed in my browser? Now, if you see the web browser on the screen, which I'm saying, we have 3 cookies created. 4 cookies you are seeing. Now, what we did over here was, we created a cookie with the name MJCD and OU. And these 2 cookies we have added. But remember one thing, don't get confused. These cookies have been created for whom? These cookies has been created for which, which website? For different website, different cookies will be created. So in this case, in this example's case, these cookies, what you are seeing over here, is created for localhost website. So in web browser also, you the cookie will be saved with the reference of the site. So every cookie, or all, there are ways to access the cookies. There are some programs, or there are some malicious code which is written in JavaScript, as well as JSP also, and that code will try to run on your not JSP, sorry, some code which is written in JavaScript, which can run on your browser and retrieve the cookies saved for all the websites. So the one thing is the answer about this question, that how do I see the cookies installed in my browser? You can use this program which we have seen in in this class, that is retrieving all the cookies. But this will give you cookies related to your website. I mean, to the website local host which we are doing. But to look at the cookies, all the cookies that are stored, then obviously you need to, go to the temporary files inside your what do you call local host folder, and then there you will have all the cookie files. Just let me try that. If you have some, what do you call, we just spend some time here. Not this way. I think it is stored somewhere in the users directory. Uh, where is that local data? App data. Are you able to see these icons? These are the icons of my my user. User with my name, and then there will be a hidden files known as app data. If we go inside this app data, you will find local. Inside this local, uh, there will be several what do you call files. Here we are in Google Chrome. So let me just search for the Google. You can see Google here, and inside, once I have opened, can you see Chrome? Inside this Chrome, user data is there. Inside this user data, there will be some temporary files which says, let me just find out. I suppose I'm not able to find that folder, but somewhere over here it will be. All your cookies of all whatever sites you have visited will be saved. They used to be in Internet Explorer. There used to be a, what do you call, a file known as temporary internet files. In that, we were able to see all the cookies. But somewhere in this user data itself, you will have all the cookies stored. Let me just check this default. I'll just try to search for localhost. Oh, nothing is found. I think in Chrome the cookies are hidden. Uh, okay, what is this file? Save browsing cookies. Let me just open this file. Save browsing cookies. No, this is not the. Anyway, it is stored in your app data and somewhere in your, what do you call, desktop users. This one you saw somewhere in, what is that? In default, I saw cookies. Where is default? Default. Where did you see that cookies? Yeah, yes. Here we have cookies. Yes, it's correct that it is there in the default. This entire cookies are saved this way. These are the cookies which are saved on my web browser. And remember, there is a separate space for Chrome to store cookies, as well as there is a separate memory allocated to store cookies for Internet Explorer. There's separate space for Mozilla. There is separate space for Edge. So every web browser will have a separate space for storing the cookies. So this is how this is where the cookies are stored. Any other question? So, are the things clear? At least anyone reply from 17 people, or actually it is 16 people who are. Okay, then. Do you How about the programs which are the sample, whatever, in morning class as well as this class, whatever sample programs or sample, whatever, what do you call, servlets or the form things I have created, what about them? Do you want them for reference? How do you want them? I know, yes, but how do you want them? Google Drive. Okay, then. Just stay for. I mean, sometime I'm just. What do you call? Where are these things stored? Okay, here in the class. What was this? What are the? I have so many things opened up. Just let me close all this part. And where is it? What do you call? This is the in my D drive. Okay, this one is there. Web apps. My student app. Now this entire folder, I'll actually zip it. Let me just delete this. What do you call? What is this? New folder. Then this one I have web.xml. This web.xml contains all the web mappings. Classes also I have all the cookies as well as what you call sessions and all. We have it. Let me just right now zip this. Sir, if possible, Apache Tomcat files. What does it mean? Apache Tomcat files means, do you want the software? Apache Tomcat software or the entire Apache Tomcat software? It's free, man. You can download it. Let me first zip this file, and then I'm just trying to compress it with the RAR. Let us complete this task first. What is this? Creating an archive and opening my web browser to email. What is happening here? Cannot create a file. Why? Okay, I'll just try to zip it then. Okay, this one is there. Just be online. Where is my meet? Just forget about meet. Just a minute, man. Let me just upload it to the drive. What should I give the name here? New upload. What is that? Let us create a new folder. WP for 20. Wow, which year it is? Which academic year is this? 2021? No, 1920, I suppose. 1920. Okay. Now here, what do I do? Upload files. Where is it created now? In my D drive. D drive program. Yeah. कहाँ है जी? Huh. Apache Tomcat web apps, and this. Okay, this has uploaded. Then you people wanted the Tomcat server. So let me just check whether I can upload, because I don't know whether we can upload the what do you call exe files. 8.0.1 is in the, just let me try that. I have 7.0 Apache Tomcat, so I think it should work. Yeah, it has been uploaded, I think. It is uploaded. Now what I will do is I'll just create a shareable link and post it on the uh, private. You can only access. I'll just change it to anyone with a link. Done. What was this link? What is it? Share. Anyone with a link. Okay, let me copy this. I'm posting the link in the, what do you call, where is it? I'm posting the link here. This is for your Tomcat. And then let me share this one also. Anyone with the link from MJCT. No sign in required. Save this. Done. Get shareable. Ah, खाली नहीं है इसका. पे copy this link. Now this is the shareable link on the, for the, what do you call, uh, for the programs. Now somebody said, can you share it on WhatsApp? Yes, definitely I can. But what will you do with the Apache Tomcat on WhatsApp? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll share this links. Let me copy this, and where is the WhatsApp? I'm sharing in, I think 2021 group. Is it okay? Okay, okay. In 2021, your what do you call, third year group. So this is the first link. Just let me post it. What do we say? Let me say, dear CSCA students, and then this is the link I have shared for the course, and then I will just share another link for, this is for the Tomcat. I have shared these links on your WhatsApp also. Is it fine? Uh, Anything else? Recorded videos. Yes. The problem with the recorded videos is, as I told you in the morning itself, I'm just trying to compile them. What happens is, when this recording is done, immediately it will not be visible, or I will not be able to access those recordings. It will actually, the drive takes, what do you call, some time for processing it, and then it will share it on my, what do you call it, in my drive, as well as it will give the, what do you call, send me a link. So once this is done, I will just share all the recorded videos. Is it fine for the recorded videos part? So anything else is there, or can we end this session? I think we will end this session. Now, in tomorrow's class, we will try to see again the practical part with respect to JSP. So, can we end the session? Okay, fine. Then thank you very much for joining. We will meet tomorrow, I suppose, in the morning.